You never went and got them cough drops?
No, I got some candies, just as good. You know.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
That's not. Nope.
100%.
That's not actually
It's
like.
perfectly fine.
No,
Yeah.
Nate disagrees.
that's factually wrong.
What are cough drops except for some candy? You know.
I like that.
I don't think that's actually how it works.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah.
I mean, I already took too much vitamin C. So what's the vitamin C gonna do? You know.
Well, they also have like throat. What is it like that? That like numbing agent in them, and then they have menthol that help open up them airways.
Yeah.
And then hard candy.
That's what Vicks is for. You know.
Doesn't have those.
I'm already doing the things. It's fun.
I think this is weird. I think this is how medicine works.
I'm just doing
That's
it.
good.
You know, you just need something. You know, some liquids for your. You need to generate some spit. Spit is what's good for you, right?
That's not like.
Spit is good for you.
I guess it can help with the cough and stuff, but
Yeah.
that's not all a Halls offers.
No, I understand. I'm just saying the medicinal benefits are minimal. So why not just use some candy? Because it's candy. I mean, that's what people in Asia do a lot of the times. You know, they have those flavorless candies.
They also have those one cough drops. What is it? Ludes.
Ludes.
Something like
Yeah.
Ludes.
Yeah, they do
That's
ludes.
different. That's Quaaludes.
From the 80s.
No, they're like cherry cough drops, except for they're like, I would hesitate to call them even a cough drop. Like they're basically just a cherry hard candy.
Yeah.
But they work under the same assumption that like it doesn't really matter what you use.
Yeah, and they're delicious, right?
I don't know. I don't really like the artificial cherry flavor.
I'm okay with artificial cherry flavor.
And I actually kind of like the like lemon honey Halls. I think those are pretty tasty.
They're not bad. I'll give them a not bad. I'm not like.
And then I like the way that menthol feels in my lungs. I might have a cough drop addiction. That might be where we're going here.
It all becomes clear now. We got to the bottom of it. Yeah.
After years of study.
Yeah, this is the 8-Bit Show, where we talk about what you should and should be taking for medicine, because we're
That's
experts.
exactly it. And you need to take our advice.
Yes. If you don't,
please don't. Actually, on a serious note, please don't ever take our advice seriously. On any topic, let alone health.
Yeah, I'm
not legal advice.
No. I'm not qualified to deliver that.
Yeah. Welcome to the 8-Bit Show.
Woo, woo, woo. I'm a little sick. We'll see how long my voice lasts. It was rougher than I thought, you know, like, I don't know. I just noticed yesterday, like, talking for a bit, and I was like, oh, my throat is tired, so I don't have strep or anything. So yeah,
okay.
that's
it's just a little like cold that's going around.
Yeah,
our city and state.
Oh yeah,
because that cold weather really came out of nowhere and hit us.
Yeah,
I've been pretty under the weather myself. Yeah,
I've been all stuffed up. I've been taking like sinus decongestive stuff, and sucking out cough drops like they're going out of style, like we said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Cough drops are amazing.
Yes, useful tool.
Indeed. So how have you guys been? It's been a while.
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty good.
We're back for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new year and a new me.
That's it.
No.
What's your New Year's resolution for your new you?
My New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
Mine was more like just like a hope it's not gonna go as bad as I think it will.
We all need a little bit of that. Mm-hmm.
And just like most resolutions, that lasted, a week.
That's fair. That's fair.
Before all hope failed. How was yours?
Well, I've been sick a lot, so annoying.
Yeah, that's been pretty rough start of the year.
Yeah, but going great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited though to get back to talking about some news and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean it was fairly slow news-wise up until like this last week. Stuff started popping off again.
Well, yeah. So how do we want to start this? Because we also have our
Game of the year.
Game of the years, yeah.
Choices.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say let's do what we always do. Start with the news, and then we'll get to our game of the year, and then we can talk about the rest of the stuff we've been playing.
Okay.
We can kind of do the game of the year and what we've been playing all rolled into one.
Yeah.
So you'll have to stay tuned.
Got him
To find out.
Trick them good.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well played. Well played.
We're a bunch of rubes.
All right. Well, let's kick into it. You want to start? You want me to?
Who I love those rubes, by the way.
Where would we be without our rubes?
That's true.
I'm gonna miss those rubes. I mean, you seem to have more news than I do this week.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Well, let's
Or
start
we
it
have the
off
same number.
with our favorite company, Ubisoft.
Oh, yay. Good.
Yeah.
They're still around.
They might not be for long. There was an investors call that happened, I guess, this last week. And I think, so Bloomberg. Did it come from Bloomberg? Did it come from our friend Schreier?
I think so. The original reporting on it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this latest on what happened.
I don't know.
My article comes from IGN, though. So basically, on the investors call, the investors started asking what is actually going on with the company. Are they going to be around for long? Is the company being sold off? Like, what is the plan going forward? Eves and Frederick Duguid, they refuse to really give any answer. So it doesn't look good. Basically, a lot of investors are pretty pissed off. And I think this is actually maybe a legitimate legal concern at this point, where all these investors might be able to say, like, hey, you are now like in the realm of defrauding us. Because the path forward doesn't seem to be like anything. You're not giving us answers, and things are only getting worse at the company. And like, there's now rumors going around that if Assassin's Creed doesn't do good, then the company's gonna go under. Like, they won't have any money. So it's a pretty dire situation for Ubisoft as a whole.
Yeah. And they're with the talks with Tencent. It's like Tencent really just wants like the big thing, which is Yves Guillemot and the Guillemot family to take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
That's like their big thing, and if they do that, they could possibly save Ubisoft.
Yeah, and apparently they've been unwilling to say to investors if that is actually a thing. Literally, all they pointed to is that they've been talking to advisors.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
what does that mean?
The Guillemots aren't going to give up without a fight on that.
It's true.
they've stated before that they don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, this is their like precious baby that they've burned to the ground. It's like terrible points. Like, okay, I was looking at lists on the sale the other day on just on Steam on what's on sale, and that Prince of Persia, that new Prince of Persia game's on sale, and I'm like, man, I would really love to play that game, but it was put out by Ubisoft,
right? Yeah,
and so I don't want to play it.
That's the unfortunate thing about like most of their games too, and I think the way that gamers as a whole feel. I think for a lot of the time, games are a lot like movies where it's like, like sure you don't have to like a director or whatever to go to want to see a movie, right? Like I think people, for the most part, I'm not saying that everybody does this, but for the most part, I think people go, oh, I just want to, watch a movie, have fun, support the good people in the industry. But I think Ubisoft is running into a place, because I just see it everywhere, where people just don't want to support their games anymore. So I don't know. It feels like the name is just so tainted.
It is, but it's like nothing that can be brought back, especially with like video games and entertainment in general.
Yeah.
It's like you can fuck up pretty big.
Oh yeah.
But if you take a step back for a moment, figure out what like the priorities, get those straight, and then come out with something great again, like it would be forgiven. Had any of their games in the last 4 years been any good, this wouldn't be a conversation. But instead they go for the same approach that they go through with like sports games, where they're just like, it's the same thing. They're just formulating it different every time.
Right. Yep.
But it's like the same shit. Like we give Bethesda enough shit for having like the same game come out, but they only do that every like 3 years. Ubisoft is doing it like 2-3 times a year.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I guess
on top of the covering up of sexual harassment and stuff like that, I think Yves Guillemot needs to go. Like the Guillemot family needs to go. If Ubisoft's ever going to have a chance in remaining any kind of name.
Well, honestly, even just if, like you said, like if they take a step back, they don't even need to leave the company, but they need to stop being the face of the company,
Yeah, Tencent isn't saying, like, basically Tencent saying, like, you guys can't be CEOs. And we're like, you guys can still be, like, the owners. You own a good share, okay? But as far as the day-to-day and what happens at the business, that's where they want them to step back.
Yeah.
You're not to be running a company.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, we're going to have to see what happens if Ubisoft will release any more details. I'm sure a big part of them not wanting to say anything to the investors is that just becomes public knowledge as soon as it's out. And maybe there is a legitimate concern about them having any information leaked, because some of these deals, they can be very sensitive, like
there's a good chance we won't hear much until it goes one way or the other.
Yeah,
that's why it's like drip feed information anyways. That's why it's always very little.
Right. So yeah, that's that for Ubisoft.
Sorry about that coughing. Let's see. In case you don't live within the United States, you might not know, but the LA fires have been really bad. Within this last week, Los Angeles area just pretty much went up in flames. With 6 fires?
Yeah.
Over just the last week.
I don't even know how many, but it was crazy.
One of them I looked at this morning, and it's still 0% contained.
Really? Dang. haven't been keeping a close eye on it.
And then some started up again last night because it got all windy. The Santa Ana winds came marching through. Not as bad as the first night, but it's still, yeah, that whole area is pretty bad, causing a whole number of delays and stuff throughout the like entertainment industry.
Yeah,
a bunch of movie sets.
Oh yeah,
and including Riot Games. Their Santa Monica office. They're currently outside any evacuation zone, at least that's the time of the writing of this article. So they're okay, but again, they're a local LA place, so a lot of their staff live within LA, and they're trying to make sure that all the employees put safety and family first.
Oh yeah,
in this very crazy time.
Yeah, I've heard it's. I heard there was a few reports of like people trying to get back into the house to, I think one incident was like to save a pet, and then the one was to grab something or another. Yeah, and I mean the fires get so crazy so quickly because of the winds out there. Yeah. Like just watching some of that footage, it's like, oh yeah, you're not outrunning that.
I mean, we don't get like the same coverage, especially because our fires aren't typically worth near the amount of damage that this fire caused. But
oh yeah,
like New Mexico gets fires like it all the time. Between having like super dry conditions and those winds, fires can literally start out of nowhere. Like,
oh yeah, with the way that all
with no people
around.
Yeah, with even no people engagement, a fire can happen.
Oh yeah.
From like numerous things, even just like some of those areas with how dry they are, just some of the friction caused will start a fire.
Yeah, and I mean in wooded areas, it's like it's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, with these fires, there's just so many people there. And so one of the YouTubers that I watch, Bitwit, like he was showing his house because he finally was able to get back to his house after everything that's been going on, and like there's just nothing left. Like there's like the frame of a room, and like random things in all the ash and rubble and whatnot. But yeah, it's just like. And him just like going through his neighborhood, like on his way to his house, and just showing all the houses that are they're just gone. So I mean, like, there's a lot of people's homes. It's crazy.
It's pretty devastating.
Yeah, and
it's rare that like these fires get so close to heavily populated areas.
Yeah,
and so
it's just happening more and more.
So scary. Yeah, it's scary. Right. But for Riot Games, they've closed their offices. At least to what do they call it? Critical functions.
Yeah.
While this happens over the next week.
That's good because I'm sure a lot of the employees needed like figure their shit out, and they don't got time to work. So.
From CEO Dylan Jadira, I think that's it. I don't know how you're gonna pronounce that. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sure, whatever.
Or Hadira. I don't know. Anyways, he wrote on LinkedIn, for the writers reading this, please remember our mission and our work will always be there. Right now, what matters is taking care of yourselves and each other. It takes a village to do what we do. And we are all in this moment together. For those in the offices around the world who have been reaching out, your support is incredible. We're once again reminded how strong the Riot team is. He also wrote that Riot Games is ready to stand up for Los Angeles and give back in every way we can for all those of the communities when the immediate danger surpasses. After all, Riot Games has always been a Los Angeles team. And Los Angeles raised us, and we're proud to call it our home. So Riot Games. Kind of being cool for a little bit of a change.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's what needs to be done. So.
Yeah. Well, good luck to everyone in LA. A whole bunch of movie productions got shut down too.
Yep. Yeah. Anything going out in LA, probably gonna have delays right now. So. Next up, I got a little something silly.
Oh yeah.
Sony.
Lighten the mood.
Yeah, Sony has debuted tech where players can see, shoot, and smell baddies from games like The Last of Us.
I don't want to. No one wants that. Why would I want to smell my enemy?
No idea. I think I don't know if it was them that showed this off last year, but I swear somebody did. Why are people obsessed with smell-o-vision? We don't need it. We really don't.
I don't want to smell it.
Never wanted it.
No.
What was it? Wasn't it Resident Evil 4 that came out with the candles that had like blood scent?
I don't remember this at all.
Like gunpowder.
Blood
I swear
and gunpowder. Get your new blood and gunpowder candles.
Let's see if I can.
With the Resident Evil logo today. Special pre-order. Only costs $39.99. It's got Paul Anka's guarantee.
At that price, I can't afford not to get it.
Right. So yeah, I mean, are they gonna continue to use this, or was this just something fun for them to work on? You know, I don't know. I hope they don't try to make this a thing. Because I mean, I guess for the novelty of it, like it's fine, but yeah, I just don't know.
Oh, it was for Resident Evil 7.
For 7.
It was for Resident Evil 7. They had, a couple different ones. Blood and gunpowder, which apparently smelled really good. People liked that one.
Huh.
Was it didn't actually smell like blood and gunpowder? That's just what it said.
I'm sure they didn't. They were just little stupid collectible candles.
Yeah. It was like what is that candle that you always see in the store that you're like, what does that even smell like? And then you go and smell it and you're like, oh, okay.
Tropical mist.
Yeah.
Blue.
Midnight sky. So yeah, that's just, I mean, I think the fact that they had it over at CES, for CES, like, show me some ridiculous stuff that somebody was just messing around with, in your guys' research department. I hope that's all this is. It sounds like fun. I wish
CES is usually
take a part in it, but yeah,
that's usually what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tech show. That's always kind of fun.
Yep,
cool tech can be shown.
Yep, even if it's
always
worthless.
like, oh man, this is gonna still be like ways out, and why anyone would do it is questionable
at best.
Let's see. I have more news.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need this one. Last of Us Part 2.
Oh yeah,
that's coming. Is going to require a PSN account to play on PC.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Making it unplayable in over 100 countries. It's kind of weird to me. Like, wouldn't you just want the game out there and on as much stuff as possible? For as many people to buy it as possible?
Yeah, but that doesn't generate constant revenue streams, which is the craze these days because the gaming market just isn't in a good place. So you gotta find ways to make more money.
Last of Us Part 2 isn't like a live service game, it's just a single player game.
Exactly. That's why you need to have PSN account created so that you can start emailing customers on all the latest games that are coming out.
Oh. Well, you don't have to depress me more. Thanks.
I'm sorry, I made too much sense.
No, this is clearly starting to annoy people that
Yeah.
specifically Sony has been like really bad with the like requiring of it. Even so much of adding it after the fact, like Helldivers,
Right.
which took away the game from hundreds of countries.
Yeah, I'm again, I don't care if you ask for this stuff. Like, that's fine. I get it. But the requirement, it's what are you gaining? It does only lose out sales for you. You literally are making less money.
It's yet another. I saw a thing on it that it's yet another thing like DRM, where if you have that, you have a little bit more control over like seeing people, pirate your shit.
Yeah. You can get more accurate numbers. I don't know.
And like it's also a way, it puts up a wall, not a big wall when it comes to those people who can crack games, but it does still put up a wall for your average person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just feel like though that it does in the end, it only encourages pirating in these countries where it's not available now.
Yeah.
When that's the only way you can get it, it's like, I'm not gonna bitch or moan about any sort of pirating.
Please pirate my game.
Yeah, exactly. You're practically begging people, especially when it's like all over the news and whatnot that something is a good game.
To me, it's counterintuitive to what I know most about these CEOs, which is they always want more money, and it's like, wait,
well, see,
it's a lot of titles that aren't going to be sold.
That's the problem. Is I think they're looking at the numbers. There's somebody who's crunched the numbers somewhere that's saying, oh yeah, if we make people sign up, for the newsletter in a roundabout way, then you're gonna sell 1.7 whatever games on average. So the bottom line becomes, oh yeah, you have to have people sign up for this thing.
See, the PSN account thing never bothered me too much, just because I had a PlayStation, so I already had a PlayStation account.
Yeah,
and it's been the same since I had one on the PS3. Like when I started mine on the PS3. It's been the same account. So when I moved to having my PC mainly, nothing's changed for me. It's not a big deal.
I mean, are people just going to be like using a VPN to create the account or whatever, and then?
I mean, I imagine that's it. Like, or at least what will happen tangentially. You see it with like, was it when Utah did the whole like porn thing? And now Florida did the same thing, and the only thing that's happened really is that VPN sales went crazy over there.
Right.
Like, it's the same. Unfortunately, it does put like a damper on like a lot of gamers out there, though.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, we think about it, a lot of gamers don't have like a whole lot of money or anything like that, and so this adds yet another like paywall that they would need to do in order to play.
Yeah, exactly. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks. Let more people play games,
right?
And can we preserve it? Can we start preserving the fucking art form that is video games?
I mean, if you're Nintendo, yes.
No. Nintendo doesn't want to preserve it unless it can make money on it.
Yeah, but they do preserve it. They make money off of it also, but they have a really good track record of preserving their video games for you to buy on their latest console for a nominal fee.
There is that. They do tend to hold on to a lot of like their titles, which I guess is the nice thing about having a company that can date itself so far back, right?
Right. It's true.
And
I keep buying it, so I don't know what to.
Well, that's not helping the
I'm
situation.
sorry,
Frankie.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
You're part of the problem.
I am. Listen, I need my Mario Brothers, all right? Okay.
But yeah, game preservation, I feel, needs to do something. We need something.
We've
lost so many good games.
We have.
That are just gone.
I know, right? That's the world we live in, though. Also, the world we live in are new NVIDIA graphics cards.
Oh, good.
The RTX.
Does this one come with Does this one come with a freaking GPU stand because it's so massive?
No,
or is it just outside? Is it outside GPU because it doesn't fit in the computer?
No, they're tiny. They're like ridiculous. It's kind of mind blowing. Yeah, that's supposed to be the 5090. And like people are like, what?
That looks like a lot smaller. That looks like half.
Yeah,
that looks like half the size of my.
It's kind of amazing. Their claims, anyways. The 5070, was that the entrance, or 5060? I can't remember. Whatever the entry level GPU, which I think was around $500. They're saying that its performance rivals the 4090. So
they always say stuff similar to that when the new series came out. I kind of remember when the 40. I remember when the 40 series came out. They're like, "Oh, or even our cheaper one is better than the Pro one."
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They do that, and it's. I mean, it's true to an extent, but they've never been this egregious about it. What their claims are, but it sounds like a lot of this is going to be AI. Frame generation is what they call it, which I think if you have a 20 series card, RTX 20 and higher, your GPU probably already does frame generation, depending on the game. And what that does is it's basically using AI to create an extra frame. So that's how it can be pretty dang fast. What this new version will do is for every one quote unquote real frame that you're making, it's going to use AI to generate 3 more. So that's how it can be so fast.
I'm not very tech savvy, but that seems almost magical.
It really does.
This seems like exactly what AI was supposed to be for, making jobs easier.
Right? Well, people are kind of upset because they're saying, "Oh, well, they're fake. They're fake images, right?"
Well, no, it's copying the image that you displayed to it, right?
No,
so it's taking the frame and then copying it 3 times.
It's not copying it. It's generating new ones. So it's using AI to figure out where the image is going to go.
Where it's
and then
likely to,
yeah.
Where it's likely to move in the frame.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it, but it's still taking from that frame.
Yes.
From the previous frame. It's using that as your image reference.
Precisely.
And then it's using all the information of what kind of happens on a regular basis.
Precisely. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It seems like magic to me.
it really does.
No, it just seems like a really big move, because if that works out, you're putting a lot less pressure on your graphics card.
Right. Well, on top of that, what it really means, so it's the 5070, it's $550. What it really means, though, is that you're going to get this level of performance at these, I hesitate to say that the 5070, that $550 is an entry-level GPU. But lately, yeah, it kind of is.
No, that's about common. Yeah.
Yeah, but it means you're going to get these incredible performances out of it. This is going to make gaming more accessible overall.
It makes me wonder if that's not what the new Witcher trailer was filmed with. Because in the new Witcher trailer, at the bottom, it mentions that it's with like future hardware,
Yeah.
and not console hardware.
Yep.
I think it even mentions like graphic hardware. I wonder if that's not what they shut that on.
It's quite possible. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool what's coming up. I think people freaking out that it's fake image generation. It's kind of like, hey, calm down. Like, yes, the way that it's being done is new. But half of your image generation is already being made up in this sort of way anyways. So
it's coming down to AI bad on a lot of that, which we've talked about before, which is I have a hard time like endorsing any AI thing because it's usually not going to lead to anything good. But this isn't this isn't that situation.
No.
This isn't like the AI program stealing a whole bunch of different artists' work.
Right.
Like I said, it's using that one image that you produced, like in your game. We can use what we're showing now. Like you take Helldivers, and it's taking the image like right now of him throwing the grenade, and it's planning out 3 more possible frames that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not the same as stealing from a whole bunch of local artists or anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different kind of AI. This is more.
This is like, what the AI tech was supposed to do.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and it's going to be more reliable because it's not using just like, it's not like these image generators online where you're putting in a text prompt and then it's got to generate it based off of the way that it's programmed and whatnot. Like, this is literally, I'm supplying an image and I know data about which way the game is going to be moving and whatnot that I can then create the next frame. So yeah, and on top of that, I was watching Linus Tech Tips and they said that was it AMD? I don't remember if it was AMD or NVIDIA. One of them had said that I think it's 70 to 80% of gamers had AI functionality turned on their GPUs. And I believe it because I think most people aren't going to turn that off unless it's causing an issue. Why would you? Especially now that games are detecting when you have DLSS and just turning it on automatically, or some of them just even come with it turned on to begin with.
Yep.
And DLSS does really cool stuff, honestly. Like, I mean,
it depends on the title and what uses it, but
yeah.
Oftentimes it usually provides a better performance.
Yeah.
There's been a couple games where it didn't really help.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But the tech is getting better, is bottom line. And so these new cards, I mean, I want to pick up a 5070 just to see how well it performs. So,
man, yeah, that's some cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Keep your eyes peeled.
So I got kind of driven insane at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What drove you insane?
I'd seen a few articles start popping up from people because Marcus Persons or Notch, the Minecraft creator.
Oh yeah, that's his real name. I forgot about that.
He came on Twitter with like a little like poll asking what game should be next, and it was a roguelike project, or Minecraft 2, and of course, so people went crazy. Minecraft 2. But here's what was driving me crazy: is everyone was like, all the articles I was seeing were like, oh, Notch does this, everyone's excited, yay, Minecraft 2. No one, not one of these people, almost to the point that I almost wrote my own article just to satisfy this urge. No one was talking about all the shit that Notch did after Minecraft.
I ignored all these articles because of that. Actually, I was like,
I was losing my mind. I was like, does everyone forget that this motherfucker went on a whole like sexist and transphobic
and some racist
tirade
stuff too, right?
a whole bunch. It got absurdly ridiculous. Even some stuff he had to like verbally take back.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff just got deleted, so much so that he wasn't invited to the 10th anniversary of Minecraft.
Yep.
And he was even removed from mentions from like being mentioned in Minecraft. I was losing my mind that nobody was talking about this until finally I saw an article from Ted Lynchfield at PC Gamer, who finally, at the end of it, was laid out this whole thing of some of the stuff that he did. Because seemingly Notch replied something that like, "Oh, PC Gamer is still one of my favorites." When it comes to sources, because of this article, which they do call him out for all of his stuff. Also, seemingly to note, Notch can't make Minecraft 2.
Oh no, he can't.
Maybe a spiritual successor, but no.
Yeah.
He couldn't do Minecraft 2. He sold it.
Yeah.
It's gone. He don't own it.
No, yeah.
You get a cease and desist.
Yeah, for sure. It would have
As
to be
to
a
no one's
spiritual
surprise,
successful.
as to no one's surprise, after the poll, he did state that they are working on that roguelike game. It was to try and build hype for that and not Minecraft 2. If you want Minecraft 2, you're going to have to look to Microsoft, which he's said some weird stuff about that. He seems to be salty that he ever sold that game off, but
it was for the better. For him and for us. Honestly, like if I saw that he had made, reversed his statements or whatnot, then I'd be more willing to look into the game that he's creating. But I haven't seen anything of that sort. So until I do, he's still on the naughty list.
He said stupid. He had like some pretty bad like apologies for some of them, and some of them just being deleted.
No, but they were all like ingenuous and whatnot, and that was
when you call
right?
when you call feminism a social disease, insulting non-binary game developers,
right?
Which is interesting. I didn't actually find the news article I was looking for, but that's becoming less and less acceptable. That attacking game developers.
Oh yeah,
we're seeing more companies are looking into legal things to prevent that from happening.
Oh, that's good.
Like protecting their developers and stuff from these random attacks.
Mm-hmm. That's totally good. I'm all about that.
Calling transgender identity a delusion and mental illness. That was before he offered a partial apology. And then belittling and dismissing the concept of setting one's preferred pronouns in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this guy just went off on a whole thing, which got him excluded from being at all involved.
Right. Which I'm happy for. I mean, it's a little bittersweet. Honestly, there's some things that Microsoft has done with Minecraft that I'm not the happiest about. But
of course, but Notch is terrible, and Mojang bought that shit from him.
Yeah,
Mojang selling it to Microsoft is not.
Yeah,
but it's definitely in a better place than what would have happened with Notch.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in making statements like that.
Right.
Terrible human.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I was very glad to find this PC Gamer article that finally addressed some of it, because the other articles were driving me insane that none of them mentioned it, and they're all like driving hype towards Notch. It's like, what are you doing? What's going on here?
Right.
This is a terrible man.
Indeed.
Did we all forget?
Like you were saying earlier, it's not that difficult to bounce back. People do forget, unfortunately. Yep. But that's what we're here for, to remind you of the shitty things that shitty people
to
said.
Remember.
Yeah.
To remember. Terrible people. Sorry, one of my favorite podcasts is Behind the Bastards, where they just talk about terrible CEOs and terrible politicians.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, talking about terrible people is my gig.
Next up, I got some Sony has announced some planning of live-action Horizon and Helldivers movies.
Oh, cool.
The Helldivers one seems a little meta. I only as long like. All right, so we all know Helldivers is very much like a spiritual successor. Can the TV show also be like a parody spiritual successor to its own self? Like, can we do that? Is it possible for them to do that? I just need some.
It's already
really
a parody.
Yeah, exactly. I just need something super tongue in cheek from it.
I want it to match tonally the opening to Helldivers, which is very comedic.
Sweet Liberty, no!
Sweet Liberty, no! I need that in my life.
Well, what I really need is for there to be like an almost exact copy of, just give me a scene from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the vibe that they're going for.
No, for sure. But that's what I want from the TV show. I just want one scene that's almost exactly the same. Like down to like, you know,
I just want it to where like
placement.
I don't want it to be like a controversial thing, and I want the society to be like a cherished thing. Like no one thinks any bad about this like managed democracy stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would they?
Like everyone's 100% down for managed democracy.
Well,
we
it
are
obviously works. So
we are ready. We are Helldiver.
Yeah, it could be a lot of fun.
You got to go all in on it. You can't have like some subtle commentary where that.
Oh no,
you know they're not actually the good guys. Of course they're not. We all know that. That's not the point.
Right.
Give me 100%
in. Exactly. As for Horizon Zero Dawn,
my character's frothing at the mouth for that managed democracy.
Yeah, and for Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean that could be fun.
It could be cool. Just don't make the visuals too cluttered. That's my concern.
Oh yeah,
Horizon's cool and stuff like that, but when it comes to like robot-y things in movies, looking at you Transformers movies, I don't know what the hell's going on more than half the time. They just show a bunch of like gears spinning.
Right.
I mean, that's more just Michael Bay problem.
That's what I'm saying. Just don't focus on that problem. Don't pull a Michael Bay.
Yeah.
With your robotics.
That's fair.
That's pretty sound advice. Yeah.
Especially with that one, where like they're supposed to be more animalistic and natural, anyways, right? I've played that game. They like to move like real animals, and
they're animals.
I mean, and I'm okay with you doing like, you know, an occasional close up or whatever, like, you know, make it a cool little part. Sure, whatever.
Yeah, but Michael Bay did that for even the fights. You're like, oh,
no,
cool.
He did that for if they stubbed their toe, you know.
they're fighting. I don't. I think they're fighting. They're either fighting or they're fucking. I don't know which one, but they're doing it.
Oh, they do it on Cybertron, baby.
The answer is yes.
Right.
Or fight fucking.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. I would watch a Helldivers movie. And probably a Horizon one too. Both are cool worlds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope it's a good video game movie, though, not a terrible video game movie.
Yeah, that's what it
Most
really
of them tend to be.
what really matters, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I need to watch the new Sonic movie. I actually liked all the Sonic stuff.
I still haven't seen any of them. I didn't watch them back.
I liked it. I've watched the movies and I even watched the Knuckles show.
Mhm.
I like it. I don't know why I like it.
I saw the first Sonic movie and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Never really got beyond that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Second one's just as enjoyable. I heard the third one's great.
Yeah, I hear it hasn't really let down since the first one, like it's just as good quality all the way through.
You got any other news?
I do, but you have your video? Talk about that.
Yeah. This one's a little rough. This People Make Games. I've been following them for a while. They've had some really good reporting in the industry. They did one on like Roblox. They did one on Crunch. Oddly enough, the one that they did on Crunch also featured the same studio that this video happens to be about, which is a studio based out of Indonesia and Jakarta, called Brandonville Studios, in which some reporting came out, at least in Indonesia a while back, about some truly horrific abuse and terrible. This video was really, really hard and nearly brought me to tears a couple times. As this CEO and his wife, Cherry Lai, and Cherry seems to be the main one behind all of the abuse, took some employees like under her wing and stuff like that, and basically brainwashed them and like this came to People Make Games attention when he was sent a video of a woman, Krista, that he had talked to back in 2021 about Crunch at their studio, in which he got sent a video of her slapping herself 100 times in the face as hard as she could. And then came to light that this wasn't just like a video. This was punishment that she did and recorded to send to Cherry Lai as proof that she did it.
Wow.
There's a lot of terrible things, including financial abuse, keeping most of an employee's check because they're terrible at spending, to the point that they couldn't buy anything outside of essentials without asking permission, and was always told no.
Wow.
And never got any of that money that was being saved back, even after quitting the team. Brandonville Studios did shut down, in 2023 for bankruptcy. And some of the abuse didn't even stop there. In fact, some of it even escalated. Another employee who had become pregnant was overworked. She gave birth prematurely, and while her son was in like intensive care for being premature, she got asked to come back to work. In Indonesia, the maternity leave is supposed to be 3 months. She was gone for not even a full month. Her son passed away, and there's some horrific messages of Cherry being mad that this woman was going to attend her child's funeral. It's just some really terrible, really terrible reporting. Definitely some trigger warnings if you do watch the video, but I think it is important to watch. Also important to note that Brandonville is a outsourcing developer. So they do a lot of like CGI work and stuff for a lot of games, including a lot of really big games. In fact, they helped with the next Assassin's Creed game, Shadows, before they went out of business. This didn't really take off here in the West and in the game industry. Kind of ignored it to really bad. To the point that, like, I mean, Indonesian's government is currently looking for Cherry Lai to be brought in for questioning about a lot of this. Because a lot of this came out and ended up going kind of viral. At least in Indonesia. And that's kind of the only way there that they can get out is by going viral. So yeah, a horrific story about some really terrible abuse that heavily got ignored the whole year by the industry. And People Make Games was able to do a really good documentary. Oh, well, not documentary, but expose on that. Once they were given all the information and after reaching out to everybody they could, they even got a response from Cherry Lai. Which was an interesting bit. Often you will not hear from those people, especially with the amount of fraud and abuse that woman did. And it's not even sure how much her husband, Ken, I think his name is Ken Lai, who's the actual CEO of the company. It's really unclear with all the information that he received what his role in any of it was. According to Krista, the main subject of the thing is that she believed that he was also being abused and didn't say a lot of stuff because of fear. But then there are some reports from other people that he did know and just didn't care. Like he was a big enabler in all of this. He might not have participated, but didn't stop any of it. And there's the fact that he's the CEO, so if brought up, he should have done something.
Well, I think that's an interesting thing that will have to be explored as well. But
yeah, the video is very interesting on how people can be exploited into a career, especially in places that we don't often think about. Like we have a lot of protections here in the States and in UK. Stuff like that.
And it's in other countries the employment situation is horrible, absolutely horrible.
So
yeah, if you think your employment situation is bad here in the States, be thankful. I'm not saying it's great, but it could be a lot worse.
This is a good video to to watch, like, share it if you can, get it out there, because the situation is still there, and this woman still hasn't faced any punishment for basically torturing people.
Yeah, that's pretty horrible. Yeah, that'll be in the show notes for everyone to watch. I know I'm gonna have to watch it. That's some crazy shit.
Yeah, just
like that's a level of
just
like,
again, he'll put warnings in the beginning of it too, but warnings again, it's intense and speaks about a lot of abuse, a lot of different types of abuse too.
Well, with that, the last thing that I have here is something we both actually had, so we can both talk about it. Tencent has been added to the Chinese military company blacklist in the US. Basically, there are some definitions that the United States has outlined that would get you put onto this list. Primarily, what seems to be what has Tencent on here is that they are government owned by the Chinese government.
But not our government.
No, not our government. Basically, if you, as a company, if you are supported or support the Chinese government, then you can find yourself on this list. It's going to be interesting how this all plays out legally.
There is to note that they do have time, especially as they were just put on the list. They have time and the ability to appeal the decision.
I don't think that they'll win that, though. But the way that it's outlined,
I don't know. Like, there's some not leeway. It's not the thing I'm thinking of. There is some precedent for similar companies to have been removed from that list. So it's not entirely impossible.
No, definitely not.
And I don't know exactly. Tencent hasn't seemed to have done some of the same things that other like Chinese companies have done.
Oh no, definitely. But that's kind of like the ambiguous thing about it, right? Is that it's like, well, some of this money is going back to the Chinese government.
I mean, you can take a look at NetEase, right?
Yeah.
Even with Marvel Rivals, you can't text Winnie the Pooh in Marvel Rivals. It's a censored word.
I think Pooh itself is censored.
Pooh itself is also censored because NetEase is a Chinese company.
Yep.
And it's like, I think they have some standing that for Tencent to be like, why put us on this list when all of these companies still do the same thing that we do? Just because, like, the military has given some money, or the government has given some money to us, which isn't that unusual and hypocritical for the United States, is our government has given video game money a lot.
Right.
In fact, they have their own developers.
I mean, and that's I don't know. That's like the weird thing, right? Because where the U.S. is right now. I think there's a lot in government who are saying we have to look at not what just these companies are doing, but what's behind these companies. So it's becoming a very political thing that I don't know if it necessarily should be. It's. I mean, maybe I can understand to a degree where it's like, oh yeah, like this is a wildly successful Chinese video game company that's now fueling all these funds for the Chinese government so that they can then, buy all this equipment that'll let them continue to be racist and whatnot. So, like there's definitely things to it. But I don't know if we're at that point yet, With any of these games, I don't think they make that much money. Like some of them that are wildly successful are still a drop in the bucket compared to other industries. Even just vehicles and whatnot, like computers out there in China, like it's all a different level. So I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, what can you do?
Who knows? I sure don't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's it with the news. Shall we get on to some other fun things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun things.
Oh boy, we're having fun now.
Oh, look it. We can also get cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Are you guys interested?
Ooh.
Oh well, I mean,
Cheap viewers. What will these viewers do for me? They're like slaves, right?
Yeah.
I like my viewers like I like my coffee. Cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah. All right, let's just block this person. Deal with it.
Well,
Banned. All right. No
We're
cheap
just
viewers for
lots
us.
of
We
viewers
only
now.
want high quality viewers.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Only the highest of quality
Yeah.
will
So-
suffice.
So exclusive here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't take money though.
Yeah.
Money. The more money you have, it's odd. It gets lower.
Yeah.
You get put lower on the list.
That's
the more
true.
money you have.
Unless you give that money to us. Then you'll
Well, then you get really. Well, then you lose the money. So then
Yeah,
you
exactly.
get put higher on the list
What better place to lose money?
than on us.
Yeah, if you're gonna waste it.
Right. Oh god. Okay, you're gonna kill me. All right, let's do our game of the year 2024. Who wants to go first? How do we do this? How do we want to start this?
I don't know. I mean,
So we're doing our top three, right?
Yeah.
oh, I didn't though. I didn't know it was top three.
You
I just have
forgot.
one.
You just have
Well, I just forgot. Yeah, like it could be lots of things.
That's okay. Perfectly fine.
I'll just say the same game 3 times and
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Tell us
counts.
3 different reasons why it was great.
All right. Yeah. I'm so conflicted on my list. All right, I have my top 2 for sure. The third one, it's such a tie for me. So
Okay.
I guess we'll see. But I want to say in no particular order, right?
It doesn't need to be.
chronologically. It'll be in chronological order. No, alphabetized.
All right.
And chronological.
Here's what I'll do. All right, I'll go first. The first game that I really want to mention is Core Keeper. It officially came out in 2024.
True.
But we've been playing it for the better part of a year, right?
Yeah.
If not longer.
It wasn't.
Yeah, we were into it before it was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta say, like, it's still so fun. The additions that they had in the full release are really cool. The stuff that they want to bring in is going to be really cool. And it was surprising how much I got into it and how much I enjoyed even just like destroying the landscape, you know, like just doing the basic shit. It's very evocative of Minecraft and the feeling that it gave me when I first picked up Minecraft. And I think it does something special because it manages to make that that experience. Like, it's not an overly complicated game, right? Like, I see how people are not they're not into Minecraft because of how complicated it can be and how there's no real direction at first and all of this stuff. And Core Keeper manages to like I said, give that feeling of Minecraft, but it's not as difficult to get into. It's a very simplistic game. Controls are easy, crafting is easy. You do have kind of an easy path for the story to take place through. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool. So that's your first one?
Yeah, that's my first one.
Okay.
Good pick.
Well, Andrew's gonna make it easy for me because I think I'll just leave, even though it's definitely also my game of the year. I think I'll just leave it for him.
Cap.
That's generous of you. I only have the one, so.
Well, there's other games that I'd like to mention, so I feel
You'll probably mention the other games that I would have picked as like my 2 and 3.
exactly. Yeah, probably. So I'll leave that one for you. I would say. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm dying. Go away, slime. Ah, okay, I got beat up. All right, I made it out. Anyways, game of the year. It's exciting. No, I would say number one this year that I was excited for when I saw the trailers for, and it really kind of lived up to its hype for me, was Pacific Drive.
Yeah.
I found it super fun. I like the survival crafty games.
Yeah.
And this one hit all the same tropes, but in a very different way. Where, you know, it wasn't necessarily my health and food and stuff I was looking after, where it turned the focus to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Which definitely made it feel a lot different than a normal survival crafty game. But the atmosphere and the sound of that game really just unnerved me a lot. I can't remember how many times that I would be like out trying to get some resources, and then there's just like an ominous like moan noise, like metal moaning off in the distance, and you're like, I don't feel comfortable anymore being out here.
What was that place that you got to where it was like some sort of like factory or something?
Oh, this is the wall.
Yeah, that place was
going through the wall was crazy.
Yeah, it had a very intense feel to it.
Yeah, you can hear the like concrete groan as it's shifting around, and very claustrophobic as compared to the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know. The atmosphere in that game was really well done.
Agreed.
The drip feed of lore it gives you was also really well done. The voice acting was fun. You know, you as a character are pretty you know, no real character there. Every character comes off of being a side person, as someone who talks to you as a character. But it was just so well done, like the way they drip feed you why the car, why you can be constantly reset.
Yeah, it had a good mystery element to it that it was slowly revealing, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, its mystery is really fun. The exclusion zone itself is cool. I heard that they got bought for script.
Oh, really?
For like a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think could be
right.
really, really cool to explore the exclusion zone with more things. They wouldn't even need to focus on the car aspect, like just the exclusion zone itself, and a lot of the mysteries that you just uncover and stuff there are interesting enough that they could be their own story.
Yeah. Like you can set that, in the past, in the future, wherever.
Yeah.
I think that world can lend itself to a lot of different cool stuff.
Yeah, because it comes down to that attachment to something.
Yeah.
It's not just like the car. Your character is attached to the car, but there's another character you learn about who's attached to a paint can, like a spray paint can.
I don't
who makes these like,
part.
Yeah, you can find some of their tags around, and they're really elaborate and stuff. But their attachment was a spray can.
That's pretty good. I approve of that.
There's some cool things there, man. There's some really cool stories. So, the first one on my list was Pacific Drive.
All right.
Andrew,
Yep.
what was your number one?
Oh, it's Heck Divers.
Heck
Divers.
Mm-hmm.
The cousin to Helldivers.
Yeah.
The one that was available in 100 other countries.
Legally distinct Helldivers knockoff, yeah.
No, of course it was Helldivers 2.
Yeah, Helldivers 2 is amazing, yeah.
That's so good.
What a fun game.
How many
Really.
hours have you put into that there, aren't you?
Little over 300.
Oh.
Oh, nice. See, I'm a little over 200.
It's a nice, healthy amount.
So I like I said,
I like no life this game when it came out.
That's fair.
This would be on my list, except for I felt like I should just leave it to Andrew since it was his older one. Yeah, Helldivers is so good. It proves like live service games do have a place and don't have to be greedy,
Right?
Yeah.
to be successful.
Yeah, the way they managed to do it was really good.
I still feel like it's not ever a ripoff. Like the Super Creds aren't. It takes some time, but the game's fun enough that you're gonna still want to play. So like, you're playing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely less timey than like other titles that have come out, like Rivals, where the grind for any real money, and that is impossible. Yeah, Helldivers 2 shines when it comes to live service games for sure. Not to mention just in a fun ass game in itself.
Right.
Being so damn cinematic. When shit's going down and going wrong, that's when it's at its best.
Indeed.
Number 2, Frankie?
Number 2 for me. Okay, so that's gonna be for me Celeste 64, Fragments of the Mountain.
Oh, cool. That was that little indie one, right?
That little game that came out that dropped. It was a nice little surprise. It captured the feeling of N64 titles in a way that I don't think has been really done by anybody else when trying to or not. And I mean, like, it had that nice bit. It actually felt a little bit more accessible than Celeste did. It didn't feel as punishing. Because I remember feeling the beginning of Celeste is very, very difficult. It's like it ramps up like immediately, right? This one, I don't know, maybe it's because I was used to it by then, but it didn't feel as difficult in the beginning. But that being said, there's still some incredibly insane parts that I did not go back and beat. But what was really cool and very much an open world, like Mario 64-esque sort of way, you can go and to the very end of the quote-unquote game right at the beginning. So it was cool that it gave you that sort of open world freedom in like one Mario 64 painting, you know, like it felt like that. It felt like you jumped into one of those paintings and you were just in that world. And you had all these little tasks to do, and yeah, it was fun. Good solid game all on its own, I think, if only just a little short. But that's okay. I loved it all the same.
Cool. For my number 2, I think I'm gonna go with Space Marine 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me was just God of War with guns. And really fun. The combat, like the melee combat's really fun. The guns are really like chunky and meaty. I like the bolt gun, and there's really like heavy guns.
Mm-hmm.
And it just played so well. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the just like wave of enemies thing that they kind of do for you with this combat that feels very like God of War, mixed with handguns and different ranged weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was too good. And as far as Warhammer lore, apparently it's pretty good on that front too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care about them. The lore all that much.
The lore.
Oh, did my OBS freeze?
Did it? No. I'm seeing things.
Okay. Weird. I got like a little notification thing.
Oh.
But yeah, Space Marine 2. That's my number 2. My number 2.
Okay. Andrew, you think of anything or?
Helldivers 2.
Nice.
Did I mention that game?
That was a
No.
good game.
You can do anything. Look, this guy's in a mech, and he's ripping. He'd be in a mech.
You should have done Helldivers 2, the Illuminate update.
Also legit. Excuse me. Okay. Well then, okay. See, this is a hard one. All right.
Is it?
Yeah. So Marvel Rivals.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. Marvel Rivals, I had so much fun with. I didn't expect to enjoy this game as much as I have.
What if I give you? What if we do also an honorable mention?
That's gonna make it harder because I don't know which one I would put in my top 3 and which one should get the honorable mention.
That was my goal, was to make it harder. So I'm glad it worked out. I was worried it wouldn't.
So the other one is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I love Zelda games. Everybody knows that. No surprise there. Yes.
Weird.
I know, super weird. And this
I thought you hate Zelda.
This one was a nice return to form. So yeah, I mean, like, just the things that it did are really good. I couldn't really find a big issue with anything in the game. It's different. It takes some things from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, it's really, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Legend of Zelda. We're gonna give it to Echoes of Wisdom. That's my number 3. Just because I think the feeling that I got from that, it's the last game Zelda-wise to come out that was like that was the remake of Link's Awakening. And so it felt like it has been a while since we've had a traditional Zelda. So I have to say, like, as much as it isn't a traditional Zelda, they do this great blend of things that I think makes it feel more at home than any of the recent games on the Switch and whatnot. So yeah, and it's kind of cool to be able to have the new art style as well. I really like it. Really, the biggest complaint that I have about the game is that it doesn't run as smooth as you would like it to. So the Switch is showing its age even with more simplistic games. So you need a new one, Nintendo.
Rumors are abound.
Indeed. So yeah, there's my number 3. Echoes of Wisdom.
All right. I know the struggle of picking that number 3. It was really, really tough. There was a lot of really fun games.
Mm-hmm.
Good year for games. A lot of good ones came out.
Yep.
Yeah, a whole lot of really good ones came out this year. But I think I'm gonna have to probably give it to Dungeons of Hinterberg. Really super fun dungeon crawl adventure game with some like hack slashy element and fighting. A lot of puzzles.
Did you play this one on stream? I can't recall.
I don't think I did stream it, but I played it for the Xbox for a while, and I really enjoyed it. But I found it a bit easy.
Oh yeah.
So
I remember you talking.
I ended up purchasing it for Steam, and then started it on its hardest difficulty, and I haven't quite made it through that yet. It is much tougher, but definitely not like super hard, but it was a lot more tough and a lot more like where I wanted the game's difficulty to be. So I thoroughly enjoy it. Between the like dungeon diving, there's a little bit of like the like life game mechanics where you can meet up with some people and you can choose like who to hang out with and stuff, and you grow relationships with them. And they all give you different bonuses when you reach certain like relationship markers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of about like getting away from your job and like the tourist industry.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So some fun commentary in there, I think, on both sides of like, maybe it doesn't say enough about any of it, but I thought it was really fun. The main character is getting away from her like everyday 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting to take its toll on her, and go do something fun. And the place she goes is Hinterberg, where this like anomaly is happening, and they found magic, and there's like these little monsters you can hunt, and now they've built a whole little like weird tourist economy around it and the island. And you get to talk to like, residents of the place and also fellow tourists, and kind of see the different angles and stuff there. It's fun. It's a good, really well done story. Kind of one of the games that came out and surprised me this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to check that one out. Well, I guess that. Oh, do we want to do our honorable mention then?
Sure.
Okay, so mine is Marvel Rivals, as I said earlier. I'm having so much fun with that game. I'm a little glad that it's not like strenuously balanced at this point. The character abilities and how over the top they feel. I mean, it makes it feel like you're a superhero.
I like Marvel Rivals and also hate Marvel Rivals for a few reasons.
Yeah,
But
and it's not
I
a
do
perfect
think
game.
I do think that it shows that it isn't that people don't want a new hero shooter game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that like we want good ones, and like they need to be like fairly thought out. I mean, NetEase and stuff had it pretty easy with having, Marvel IP, pretty
Right.
well established characters, and they had that going for them. But also, like you said, like you feel like a superhero. The ultimate abilities all feel pretty cool. Everyone feels pretty unique. And with its really bright and colorful visuals, it makes for really fun play. Just like when Overwatch came out, and it was like this new bright and fun thing.
Mhm.
It has that, but it also has a lot. Like it isn't Overwatch.
Yeah,
It's
right?
fun, and doesn't have a lot of the problems that Overwatch has had, and hasn't seemed to do much with.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see what it evolves into. I mean, the money situation. I have issues with it, but I mean, I'm very ambiguous. I'm not ambiguous. What's the term?
Ambidextrous.
Ambivalent. That's the word I'm looking for. Also ambidextrous. I wish I was ambidextrous. I can't use my left hand word. Shit.
I can do some things. I
Like
can't quite write really well, but I can do almost every other task.
no, I
just
think
as well.
I think that's the level of what you have to be able to do to be considered ambidextrous. You have to be able to write, right?
I can write. It's just not as pretty.
Right and left.
I guess.
It's just not nearly as pretty. And
Well, same here. I can write words with my left hand. They ain't gonna be that legible.
I was born left-handed, and then my kindergarten teacher said that left-handed was a sin.
Oh,
and
that's right. I forgot you were one of those unfortunate
forced me,
souls.
yeah. Forced me to write with my right hand.
Yep. I'm sorry, Christian.
That's cool.
They said he was donkey
Left
brain.
hand is for the devil. We know that. That's good. I found out at a young age.
Right?
Imagine me much harder when I got older.
Yeah, I think it was just a welcome surprise, especially
It's been
because when I
nice to
first
get
saw
back
it,
into a hero. It's been nice to get back into a hero shooter that's
Yeah.
fun.
when I first saw it too, I was like, oh my god, this thing's gonna be so dumb. I'm gonna hate it so much. And then I just kept hearing good things about it, and I finally was like, well, it's free, low entry point, right? Low cost of entry. And yeah, been enjoying it ever since. So that's enough of that. What else we got? Our weeks. Get into that.
Oh, so you can do an honorable mention, but I can't.
Oh, I forgot
I
about
see.
that.
It's fucking cool.
Sorry.
It's cool, dude. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, I'm not feeling good. My brain ain't here. At least that's my excuse.
I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Were you just gonna also pick Marvel Rivals?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't actually.
That would have been great, though.
I was going to pick a game that we did play on stream a few times, which was also one of those like kind of surprise games that came out of nowhere for me that ended up being really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out on full release this year, which was Rip Out.
Oh yeah, Rip It was fun. Yeah.
A really fun little like
Doom 3 roguelike.
yeah. It had the cool like pet gun thing. It was really fun little mechanics that they ended up fleshing out pretty well by the time the full game came out, and they've even expanded since then. I haven't gotten to play any of the super new stuff, but it's one of those games that I have it on my thing, and I haven't yet uninstalled it just because like I do want to keep playing it. Like it was really fun. Its monster design was really cool and creepy. I remember it was the first time we ran across that like mimic chair.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
that
throw
started attacking
throw
us.
some curveballs your way, yeah.
Or the
With
doors
the environments, yeah.
some
You
of
get the higher
doors-
difficulties.
Yeah, some of the doors are like not. They're like
Yeah, the doors are like
started
mimics,
attacking
yeah.
you.
Nice.
So the first time that fucking got me.
Yeah.
never been in the game before. You go to a higher difficulty and doors sometimes try and eat you.
So a lot of fun. I think that deserves an honorable mention this year. But again, there was a lot of really fun games that came out.
There really
There
were.
was the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. There's so many great games came
Yeah,
out.
no, I think it was a really-
Astrobot, a bunch of stuff, games that I didn't get to play, but were insanely well received.
Right.
So yeah, it was a pretty decent year for gaming.
I need to pick up Wukong.
Even beyond the like terrible schluck, it was also a rough year for the gaming industry with all the layoffs and stuff.
Oh yeah. Indeed. Yeah, no, I think overall though it was a pretty good year for gamers. Honestly, got a lot of good titles. So there's so many that I missed out on. I still really want to play some Astrobot so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of like indie titles that came out in like early access this year that I was like struggling with not to want to put on my list.
Right.
There's plenty of games where I was like, what about this one? This is really fun. Wild Bastards. Dustland. There's so many great games that came out this year that that didn't quite make the list, but were nonetheless excellent games.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed.
So what have you been doing this week, Frankie?
Well, I got sick again.
Would it be maybe playing Marvel Rivals?
Listen, there's only 2 games that I've really been playing this week. And that's Marvel Rivals and Echoes of Winston, because I really wanted to beat that before this podcast. So, and I mean, I don't really have too much to say. The new season for Marvel, like it just came out, so I haven't really like messed around with the new characters. We did finally play some of the new area, so that was cool. The new map.
Did you finally get there?
Yeah, so I was looking up like what we have to do for that what is it, the challenge or whatever,
That damage thing?
Yeah, and so when I was looking up details on it, it was like, oh, if you go into the like picking what kind of game you want to play, inside of there you can actually select for a certain amount of time to play that stage, so you're guaranteed to play it. So
nice.
Yeah, so yeah, you can play the new stage right off the bat. You don't have to wait for it. I don't even know if it does come up in the normal queue, because we played like
It does. I played
It does?
yesterday.
Okay.
I saw that stage in quick plays several times.
yeah, because we played for like 2 hours, I think, and we didn't see it because Rianne was like, oh, well, I want to play it before I go to bed. So yeah, that's when I looked up everything. I was like, oh shit, okay, we could have just done this immediately. But it's good to know that it is in the quick play, because yeah, we didn't see it at all. It's just like, shit, well, are we gonna get to see it?
It's been pretty fun to have like a pretty good amount of people to play with too. I typically don't like to play those type of games by myself because I get very frustrated.
Yeah, same here.
So being able to have like a pretty good amount of people to play with at most times,
Yeah, that's super
with everyone
helpful.
playing it so much, it's like, okay, cool, I'll hop on and
Right.
play a couple rounds.
Yeah, and it's been so cool. Like whenever I started up, if it's not you, sometimes Zoe will come in, sometimes Steven will come in. Like there's so many people that I know that are playing it, That it's one of those games, and this is how I feel about all hero shooters. It's better when you have, you know, somebody on your team, right? Like you have some friends to play with. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad that and I think that the fact that it's free, you know, it's like you tell your friends and you're like, you know, it's free, so hop on in, check it out, see if you like it or not.
Please go play with it.
Yes, that's the translation. And then playing Zelda, finishing through it, seeing the way that
I will say that playing by yourself and just with like a whole team of randos is still less aggravating than playing Overwatch by myself.
I agree with that. Not a whole lot, but I agree. I still get pretty frustrated.
Like, it's still very aggravating.
But yeah, so the way Zelda ended up progressing was really, really cool. And like all the little story bits and whatnot, making the smoothies and you know, just the way that you level up Zelda, and the fact that the map actually ends up being a version of a Link to the Past. There's just some really cool parts about the game I loved so much.
Do we know where it falls in the timeline?
You know what? I want to go back and see if there's any hints. I didn't find any. I feel like it has to take place after. What's that? The not A Link to the Past. What came after that one? What's the sequel? On the DS. Right? The 3DS one. Fucking what was it called?
Fuck, what was that one called?
Seasons one?
No. It took place in it was a direct sequel to A Link to the Past. What was it?
Link to the Future.
A Link to the Future.
Link travels to the year 2099.
Ooh. I'd be okay with that.
Now you're cooking.
Right? I think you need to talk to Nintendo.
Get me Nintendo.
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get that one for free. Show you what a good sport we are.
No, don't do it for free. Don't do it for free, Andrew.
We gotta make the creative lead on the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it. But yeah, I mean, I think it has to be. It's either that or like way before. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the whole timeline thing and whatnot. But it's fun. It's good. And that's it for me, really.
Well, fun. What about you, Andrew?
My week?
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much it. You're porking at it, so.
All the diving.
Between that and Rivals.
Yeah, playing Helldivers and playing mostly playing Rivals though. I was playing a lot of Rivals.
How have you been finding Rivals? You haven't said much about your thoughts on it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's really fun. I liked Overwatch when like Overwatch came out. It's pretty much Overwatch. Just Overwatch again, but with you know, Marvel IP.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's pretty fun. I like it. No notes.
No notes. What I like about it is that like I said, it's like super reminiscent of Overwatch, right? And some of the characters even have, you know, you feel like their moveset is really similar.
There's some crossover, yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of get like, oh, but they also have this other move from another character. So it changes up their dynamic, right? Which is fun. They're stealing the ideas in the right way.
Yeah. They're not outright copying it.
Yeah.
They kind of like tore it up and put it back together.
Yeah.
I think the game still needs some, balancing and stuff. Although the season one changes, I think were all pretty good. Namor probably didn't need as much of a buff as he got, but I'm not going to complain. I like Namor.
I like that my character is the one that got snubbed the most. Nothing happened to my main.
Loki doesn't need anything.
Nothing
Loki's
happened
fine.
to him.
He's in a good. It's a good position right now.
Mhm.
He is. Yeah, I approve of everything Loki does.
I want to learn
I
Loki some
advocate
more
for it.
because Loki's pretty cool.
He's tough to get the hang of, but man,
Yeah, I tried playing with him the other day a little bit.
when you start getting the hang of it, there's things that you should, like, most healers just can't do.
Mm-hmm.
I have been able to hold out before as the only person in an area as Loki,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like defend myself and kill people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a great healer.
Well, Andrew won't talk about it, so I will. We watched The Secret Levels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! I actually completely forgot about watching those. Some of them are pretty good. The second half left me pretty unimpressed.
Oh, really? It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they released it in 2 parts apparently. But I would agree. The first half of what they released is far better than the second half,
Mm-hmm.
although fairly enjoyable, mostly all around. Like,
Yeah.
the other ones might have been a bit more lackluster, but still, they were fun. Just not as great as the first ones. Yeah, there's some really fun ideas there. The first half had like ones that I wasn't even sure how they would like turn it into something interesting. Spelunky was one of the shorts,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, well, how do you do that, right?
Yeah.
But I think they had some fun with the idea of like roguelikes, you know, that dying again and again. So it was cool. Unreal Tournament. I was like, what? Unreal Tournament?
Unreal
Like, how do you,
Wow.
does the game even have lore? And if it didn't, they did a great job. If it did, I never knew about it. It was freaking awesome.
It does now.
That was one of my favorite like ones too. Was the Unreal Tournament.
Nice. Nice.
Lots of fun. It was pretty good. I would say it's on the level of like Love, Death, and Robots.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really good ones, and then there's some of the shorts are just like meh.
Yeah.
The Mega Man one was cool, although it was one of the shortest ones.
Do like me some Mega Mans.
But the Pac-Man one,
Oh, the Pac-Man one. Yeah, that was something.
holy shit! That terrified me, boggled my mind.
What?
Dude,
Shook
it
me to
was
my core.
crazy.
Yeah, Pac-Man's not like Pac-Man used to be. Pac-Man's different now.
Pac-Man ain't as cool as I thought he was. Let's put it that way.
Interesting.
No, the Pac-Man episode they released is also following the new Pac-Man game that was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like something Labyrinth. Which looks really cool. It kind of looked like a Metroidvania with some like Pac-Man references and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's going at all with a similar story to what that short was, it's gonna be dark.
That's
I can't wait.
interesting.
It looks really cool.
Huh. Okay. Wouldn't have expected to heard those words together with Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Man, Pac-Man's dark. Yeah, he's eating ghosts. Eat what?
It was cool. Even the ghosts, like they have a little reference for ghosts, and they ain't what I thought they were either. They're crazy scary. Not
All right, you're selling.
if any of them are like should be watched. That Pac-Man one was really it was just not what I thought.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Noted.
Yeah. Secret Level was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the documentary George A. Romero's Resident Evil.
Yeah, how was that? I wanted to ask you about it more when we were talking about it, but I was like, no. This needs to be saved for the podcast.
Yeah, it was really good. It was more or less just kind of like, hey, George A. Romero was awesome. So here's a little fluff piece on him. But it was, most of it was based around the fact that he had done a commercial for Resident Evil 2 or Biohazard 2.
Yeah.
Is what he had done. And it was a whole little like live action commercial. And the studio that he did that through had the rights to the movie. And they were really close to running out of those rights. They needed to produce something. And so they had reached out, of course, because, at the time, Dawn of the Dead was huge.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, this made it really big. This is very popular. And so hired him to start writing scripts. And he had gotten fairly far into the process. He had rewrote some characters. One of the big changes was that Chris wasn't Stars anymore.
Oh, really? Huh.
He was just a hometown boy, and also native.
Was he
American
in South Detroit?
Native American. And so added a different level, and him and Jill were like in a relationship together.
Oh, interesting.
So he changed some aspects of the story that some people might find controversy, but it really felt, according to the documentary, because the scripts ended up being released for those movies.
Really?
And so a lot of like professionals feel like, those were like changes that fit according to like a lot of the messaging that Romero was fond of releasing out there. I mean, Day of the Dead tackled like racism and stuff. As one of the main characters was a black man. So like he liked to focus on stories like that. So I feel like he was not only being very respectful from what we got of his script to the core of what Resident Evil was, but also wanted to explore the themes that he's known for. And also a lot of it was very, very bloody and violent. And that seemed to be where the big problem came from, as the executive of the producer of the producing company didn't think Resident Evil was all that violent or bloody.
That's so weird.
In his words, not just violent, but like just straight gore. But also, he's wrong. Never played the first like Biohazard, which like actually was Biohazard was more gory than the American Resident Evil that we got, and Resident Evil was still gory as hell. There was blood splashing all over the screen constantly.
Well, I just feel like that's like, I feel like zombie movies kind of rose out of the gore subgenre, right?
Yeah,
like that's what made them what they are today. So yeah, that's really weird. That's really kind of weird to feel. I think.
Yeah, so that seemed to lead to some differences, which is when the script was then given to Paul W.S. Anderson to make his movie.
Yeah.
And we all know kind of how that one turned out.
the first one's
for
okay.
good or ill.
I like the
First one I thought was solid, but
Yeah.
That's where we ended up with it, and we never quite got the movie that just makes sense for George A. Romero, the godfather of zombies, who is also the reason that zombies are in Resident Evil instead of ghosts and spirits. They were going to do ghosts and spirits, but after having seen Night of the Living Dead,
Really? I didn't know that.
they were like, no, zombies are the clear match, because they wanted something that wasn't just they wanted something behind the bad guys, and zombies made sense as a virus.
Yeah.
For something bigger to be going on. And yeah, they had watched Land of the Dead and been like, yeah, no, that fits. Zombies.
Yep. Cool.
So good. It was pretty good, I would say. They go through a fair decent amount of the script in the documentary, and talk to a lot of people involved with it. They talked to like the original actor from the Biohazard live action intro, the guy who played Chris in that.
Wow.
Who never got to meet Romero or whatever, but they do a little segment on the Resident Evil bits that were live action and stuff. And he's one of the people they talked to.
That's really cool. Yeah, I need to check this out. Sounds fun.
And also talked to a bunch of people who were, close with Romero.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was good times. I quite enjoyed that documentary. It was a good docu-walkie.
A nice ducky walkie.
Yeah. As in the words of the great Zoidberg. Which those sentences aren't often ran together, but
that's true.
Then yeah, as far as games go, a lot of Rivals. Since everyone was playing it and I was shit talking it, I figured I'd probably play it. And then I fell in love with playing Loki.
Yeah, you did.
I also really like Magic.
Yeah, Magic is.
And I actually quite enjoyed playing Invisible Woman. I thought she was pretty good. But it turns out the favorite characters I like the most are also the hardest to get the hang of and use.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait to check her out. I need to check her out and Mr. Fantastic, see how they play.
I haven't checked out. Well, I played a little bit as Mr. Fantastic, just because of Loki.
Nice.
Loki gives me the ability to play as other people's a little bit.
Yeah. Very Shang Tsung-esque.
I have to play around with that. I also picked up this game called Talented, which I'm currently playing right now. And it's just a little like roguelike game, kind of tower defense.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It actually reminds me of the Game Boy Zelda a lot.
Yeah, it has kind of that as far as a graphical look to it, right?
Yeah. Well, even just
it gives it that. It also gives it that like green shade over it.
Yeah, right.
I think like the typical round to round gameplay isn't overly exciting. But the like skill tree, which is seemingly procedurally generated every run, is just this like massive path taking thing that you just want to try and build like a very connective build, right? Like you're just trying to build the most cohesive build you can.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And so for me currently, I've got it going on with a lot of like critical hits and knockback, hopefully, was what I was going for, but a lot more critical hits are happening. It's focusing around a lot of arrows like floating around me.
Mm-hmm.
But you just kind of like build it out, reaching as far as you can, coming up with the best builds, taking the best abilities you can. That's where this game is shining for me. Is this tree here? I'm finding quite fun to find the best path and best skills to take. Oh, see, I just got cut off on the path. No, it's been pretty fun to play. Cool little game, and I think it was like really cheap, less than $5. I want to say.
Not bad. Not too shitty.
And it did come out in like full release, so it's full out there. They do seem to have some aspirations for more, but yeah, not even on sale. $4, $3.99.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Fun little game. Other than that, I have been dealing with being sick this week as well.
Woo!
Yeah,
Sick.
Which has been great.
It's so
Great.
good.
Isn't it so fun?
It is.
Also played some more of The Last of Us. Not too much, but making my way through part 1 that I got for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That's for Christmas.
Or for Christmas, my bad.
It's not even your birthday yet.
Yeah, I know.
It's not.
Getting ahead of it.
That's Jesus' birthday.
It's true.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
We made it through. We're back, baby.
Yeah. Back with more 8-Bit Show.
Mm-hmm.
We're so big.
There's one thing I realized I forgot to mention. I want to run through it real quick. There's some really interesting games coming out this next week. So I do want to mention them real quick. Most of them are PC only games. We have Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. Hyperlight Breaker, set in the Hyperlight universe. And Threefold Recital. Those all come out on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday we have Aloft and The Root Trees Are Dead. Root Trees Are Dead. That's like a point and click mystery game. It looks actually fairly interesting. So Thursday we have Donkey Kong Country Returns HD coming out on the Switch. Montezuma's Revenge. Did you guys ever play this?
I've heard about it.
It's an old game, and I forgot the name of it and everything. I was checking it out, and I was like, totally taken back. So yeah, they're re-releasing this. It's like a full remaster, basically. I remember I wanted to make a game very much like this back in the day. Like I remember having dreams about it. Then we got this really weird horror game, Things Too Ugly. I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but it's intriguing. And then next Friday, we have Dynasty Warriors Origins. That comes out on the PS5, Xbox X and S, and the PC.
Ooh.
And then
I do actually like Warriors games.
Me too.
I do too. Although it's been a while since they've produced a good Dynasty Warriors.
Right, this one, visually, it looks pretty good. We'll see what happens. And then also a remaster of Tales of Grace's F. It's coming out to the Switch. So if you like the Tales games, and you got a Switch,
that's an old one.
Yeah, right.
Remaster of an old one.
Mm-hmm. It looks pretty good too. So yeah, some interesting games. I think it's a good
emulator.
It looks like a good start to the year. So
Sweet.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff coming up.
Right. Yeah.
Check back with us fairly randomly right now as we all play Rivals and stream Rivals.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of that, so sure we'll do some next few days, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. We'll see.
Maybe later.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as always, you can catch us here every Saturday, almost every Saturday at 9 a.m., where we will talk to you about video games, nerdy stuff. Yeah, on the Twitch.
And your latest in Rival news.
That's true. What else? Can catch us on our website as well, classicgamerbrain.com.
I'm starting to feel the bug to write more.
Do it, man.
So I might start doing.
Do you need me to reset your password to the website?
We'll worry about that when I start writing more.
Okay.
But I might just start doing like reviews.
Yeah.
Like written reviews.
Dude, that'd be cool.
The recorded ones.
Mm-hmm. That'd be so cool.
So we'll see what happens.
Right?
I'll work on it.
For sure. And yeah. Other than that, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Two Littles. Yes. Thank you, Coffee.
Thank you.
Just for being you.
Oh, yeah, they're so sweet.
No, you were talking to the viewers.
Oh. Well, with that, thank you, everyone. We'll catch you guys next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.